you about something that's not a bird. It's a little squishy thing that's pink and plump. I think it has a fluffy rump. You know what I am saying, yeah, it's Clefairy and Clefable. It's Kirby and they're all able to fight the battles. Despite their cuteness, they'll win their battles and kick the Tootses. The Tootses are the butts of their enemies. Clefable, Clefairy, and Kirby, please, says, ooh, and sucks you up, and then they'll fix you because they're like nurses in Pokemon or something. Yeah.
Day 77 of 100 Days of Making Comics. I am Gazbot, you are you, and together we embark on this journey. Embark isn't really, embark for today, but it started a long time ago, and if you're just jumping on now, we embarked without you. Welcome aboard, feel free to pitch in now that we're almost done and everything, but I can't really say you embarked with us. You embarked on us along the way, like jumping onto the bandwagon that is me and the others. Well, this is us as a bandwagon. But I kid, of course, if you come right now, if you come a year from now. I just appreciate the fact that you're looking at my videos at all. What is going on today? Well, I spent the day doing client work. The main thing I did that I could show you is I did 2 caricatures. I have 5 caricatures total I had to get done before Japan for 2 different things. I did one of them earlier, and then I did 2 to just knock this client off the list. It's a corporate thing. I'll put them up here. I'm going to put little black bars over their eyes. I don't think they'd care if I show them because I put them on their website, but just on the off chance. But just to, again, give you an idea of the kind of stuff I'm doing. So I will put those corporate caricatures, I'm going to put them right side by side instead of cross-fading them. So this way maybe it'll fill up the screen a little better. Filling it up. Go, go! Went, goo. Anyway, so that's that. Did some other stuff, work related that's not interesting or anything I can show you. My hands are like crazy today. Also, segue. Getting on my segue. Anyway, segue, this is not my phone. This is not the new camera. This is Q's phone. Mine is a 4S, I believe, and hers is a 5, I believe. I'm really good with technology and numbers. Anyway, hopefully this one will look a little better. I have the flipped, so I'm looking at myself on the screen, but hers camera on this side is supposed to be better. So at the very least, no black bars, if I understand it correctly. It also looks good color-wise. It looks like there's no tint, no orange, no yellow. I color corrected and everything as best I could. So if it looks bad, well, tomorrow I should have a good camera. So tomorrow, or at the very least the next day. Hopefully that will work, with being my 4th camera that I've actually tried to do this other than my iPhone. So getting back to the work day, before I worked on the horror, which I did work on, I took a bike ride, nice long one. I've been feeling very sloth-like, so I took a nice long bike ride, went down to my local comic shop, went to the pet store, bought a bunch of canned pet food to carry back in my backpack, so get more exercise that way. And I was feeling pretty good until then. Later tonight, I ate like 4 or 5 donuts, so I was like, well, now I'm canceled everything I did plus more. And even now, I'm thinking, those donuts did sound good. I was thinking about watching a show, maybe have a 3rd cup of coffee and a 6th donut. Cup of coffee, maybe yes. Donut, maybe no. Or maybe a Diet Coke. But I have real trouble with saying no to things that I want. But anyway, I did that, came back, had dinner, hung out with Q and stuff, and then decided to work on the Horror A4. And I was actually only thinking I was going to do about a half hour today, because I was thinking, I got started a little bit late. It's going on 1 o'clock right now, so it was 10, 11, whatever time it was. And I was like, maybe I'll do a half hour and just kind of knock it out. But I was starting a new page, page 11, which I'd kind of set up the other day, but I was really starting today for the roughs. And so I picked the second panel because it was going to be easier than the first. I think I've talked about this before, where a lot of artists give the advice of do the hard stuff first so that when you're tired later, then you can do the easy stuff. And I've been thinking about that. I think that might apply more if your full-time job every day, all day is drawing comics. That makes a lot more sense because you're going to be more refreshed at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the book, whatever. So that when you get to the end in the home stretch, you want to just have the stuff that's easy, that's fun. But for me, when I've already worked all day and done other stuff all day and I'm already kind of tired, I feel it's better to just do the easy stuff when I feel tired and if I have the energy and motivation to do the hard stuff. And that usually works out better. Case in point today. I was feeling like, maybe I'll just do a half hour today. Did an easier panel, but then I wanted to finish it. So I kind of finished up and it was like 45 minutes. And I was like, well, I'll round it out to an hour. I'll work on that top panel, which is a little hard. And then I just worked for about 2 hours, 15 minutes. So I got the second panel done. The first panel is like 90% done, which I'll show you in a second. I probably will put a little detail in the background, not too much, but I did the table in perspective and all the people sitting there, and it was kind of a pain in the butt shot. So I got those two both done, and it was about 2 hours, 15 minutes today. So by taking the easier panel, I got the momentum up and the energy and enthusiasm to then do the hard panel and spend more time. Now, I'm not saying that'll always happen. I'm not saying that'll happen for you. It's just, but that's why I do it the way I do, and it more often than not works out in my favor. So I'll go ahead and put that up. I have like 3 or 4 slides that I'll cross-fade to show you the progress. And crossing the fading progress! Ha! That's like my artist tension. Crossing the fading progress! I turned into like a paper mache man with like pens for fingers or something, like a T-square sword. Perspective! Anyway, when I went to the comic shop, I picked up a couple comics. There's very few like comics that I get on a monthly basis. I think like Invincible, that's the only one I can even think of. There's probably a few others that I'm blanking on, but I mostly get trades or just random issues. But this week I had no comics, which since I've been switching over to trades happens more often. And the funny thing is I'm getting trades in an effort to get less floppies and just spend less money on comics in general. But I find myself, I don't have any comics. Well, let me go look at the book comics. And I inevitably buy at least one floppy. And today I got 3. 2 of them were Avengers comics, which I don't really read Avengers. I'll pick it up occasionally if I like the artist or something. But it's like a 34.1.2, which are, I guess, standalones. I don't really understand the point of it. And I was asking the guy at the shop that I know, and I'm like, do I need to get 34 and then 1.2? He's like, nah, it doesn't matter. I'm like, well, do these relate? He's like, they're kind of standalones. But I looked at them, and one of them had Hyperion, which is from Squadron Supreme, which I'm a fan of. So I was like, okay, it's a standalone with Hyperion. I'll get that. And then the other one had what I thought was maybe Quasar, like a rebooted Quasar. And I'm like, I kind of like, I know it's weird, but I have a soft spot for Quasar. Everybody says he's a kind of a ripoff of Green Lantern, which he kind of is, or a ripoff of Captain Marvel, which he kind of is. But I read him before I read any of them. So it's that sort of thing, the thing you see first. So when I was a kid, I really liked Quasar. So I'll always have a soft spot for him. And so I knew he turned into a girl at some point, or a different character, took up the mantle and stuff. And so I was like, is this like Wendell Vaughn, the Quasar I know? But I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, that looks weird. That star on his chest almost looks like the Star brand from the universe. And then I opened it up and they're talking about the White Event. And I'm like, because I was way into the new universe, kind of after. Like, I got into the new universe. I had 1 or 2 when I was a kid, but then like, I don't know, in my late teens, early 20s, I found a bunch of them in 50-cent bins and just got like a ton of them. But I really liked Star Brand. DP7 I liked a lot too, and a few others. But Star Brand like really captured my imagination, and it kind of like had a flawed ending, kind of got weird towards the end. But I still think it was really fun. So much so that the only tattoo I have on my body is, I don't know if you can see this, it's the Star Brand. The tattoo the hero had, the Star Brand, which is his power, and I got this around that time. So when I saw that, I was like, well, I got to get this one too. So I got those 2. But I got another one called, I forget the name of it, but I'm going to put up the cover because I don't know anything about it. Supposedly the writer's written a couple books that are good, but I haven't read any of them either. But I really like the art style. I like a lot of different art styles. I don't think you could pigeonhole like my taste into one specific style, but maybe there's like a few different branches. One being artists whose work I really enjoy and know I could never draw like, and I wouldn't want to. Like Mike Mignola, he's great. I could never do what he did, nor would I aspire to do what he did. I like what he does, but I wouldn't be happy drawing that way. You know what I mean? So that's one branch. The other branch is artists who I really like what they do, could never do what they do, but would love it if I could. And that would be like, an Art Adams. Well, although Art Adams, if I tried really hard, maybe I could come close to doing what he did. I guess a better example would be like a Neil Adams or Alan Davis, who's one of my favorites. Guys who have this sort of perfect balance of sort of a comic book realism with a little bit of cartooniness, and like I really, really like what they do. I would like to be able to draw that way, but I just know that that's just not how I draw, and I'd have to like devote myself to a whole new style to ever get there. So those are those 2 basic schools of things I like. And then the third is art I like that I can actually see this is sort of in the ballpark of what I do. Maybe they're better, maybe they're a little bit more cartoony, maybe they're a little bit different, but it's like within my wheelhouse of like, I feel like if somebody liked my art, they'd probably like this person's art too, and that's probably why I like it, because I can imagine, oh, I could draw this book that they're on. And that's the book I'm going to show you right now.
All right, let me just move the donuts aside. Here's my okay. Oh, well, here's the cover. This is the Avengers I was talking about, where I kind of thought that was Quasar for a second, but then I was like, wait a minute. And there's Hyperion. And, okay, Cluster is what it's called. It's from Boom Studios. And you can see it's, you know, it's like a little bit cartoony, but it's kind of detailed, and it's got a robot, and it just, I don't know, like it looks like, I feel like in an alternate universe I could have drawn this style and also the content. I haven't read it, don't know anything about it, so I'm not necessarily recommending the story, but I'll flip through. Be careful if you don't want to see spoilers, don't look. But it just, you know, it looked like subject matter and art style that I enjoyed. You know, some punk looking chick. I mean, that's right up my alley. Robots, punk chicks. Looks good. So anyway, that's Cluster, which I'm recommending based on the art alone.
So that was pretty much my workday, and you know, the comics and stuff. I did spend a lot of time catching up on some YouTube videos of V100, specifically Scott Serkland. Bum, 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 bum. Watched a ton of his videos today, and he's a lot of fun. He puts a lot of production value into his stuff, and he has good stuff to say. And you know, he comes across almost like a teacher in a way, but a cool teacher, like Iceman. What? I don't know. No, but he's a fun guy to watch. So I guess what I'm thinking is he's one of those guys. Some people I watch and I'm like, if I wasn't an artist, would I enjoy this? I don't know. But when I watch him, I'm like, I think even if you're not an artist, you would enjoy watching this stuff of his. So check it out, if you please. Scott Serkland, Cirkworks, Chuts. And then I watch more Angry Video Game Nerd and This American Life podcast, catching up on all that good stuff. But that is the end of today. The end of today being day 77. And that means... got 23 days left!